welcome to Hannah's Knit Cottage.
Good morning.
My name is Hannah, and I'm here with a guest.
Yay, hi.
This is Michelle from Wool Market Fibers, and we are recording in Wool Market Fibers today. We are in Gulfport, Mississippi on a very, very rainy,
cloudy, dark day.
Yes, which is the perfect time to pull out all the knitting.
Absolutely.
So, before we get started, it's been like 6 months. Hello, hi. I got engaged.
Yay.
Which is where I've been. Been planning a wedding. Not married yet, but not too far in the future. So I have a lot of wedding knitting to talk about, and it is also sweater season. So we are here to talk about all of our sweaters we're gonna knit. Today I am wearing my Alpine Bloom.
It is so pretty.
This pattern is by Caitlin Hunter, also known as Boylan Knitworks, and this is made in Wool Market Fibers.
Yes.
The purple is that yak sock.
That was what you dyed during a class workshop we did last year. It was a huge hit. Everybody loved the colors that they decided to dye. They came out well, and there was her color, and it's beautiful.
Yes,
it's
and it's
great.
very comfortable on a rainy day. It feels very nice. And then this this cream is going to be, it's the alpaca sock in the color Ecru.
Yes.
This color, I think the closest one is going to be like royal purple.
I think it was.
Yeah. So that's what I'm wearing. And now it's time to break out all the things I finished. So this is not everything I finished in the past 6 months. This is like what I finished maybe in the past month, honestly, except for this pair. So we'll start with this pair. This is by Holly Press Fibers. This was the sock set called Jane Eyre and Rochester. I kind of like it.
Colors.
Yeah, I think it fits the story because the purple is definitely Jane, the blue is definitely him,
yes,
and then the orange is the fire.
And it really looks like a burnt tan.
Yeah.
So the muted orange in it really plays well with the other colors.
Yes.
I like it.
I love this pair. And I made 2 pairs of socks out of this set because I have little feet. So this is the second pair. I started these on June 6th and I finished them on June 12th because summer break. The other pair, they're actually on my feet because they have my second heel flap and gusset, and I think I might be a heel flap and gusset person.
I wish
now.
I could knit socks that fast.
I was on summer break. That was my de-stress. Okay. Then we break open the wedding knitting. Okay. So if you are in my wedding, if you know me and you're in my wedding, please turn away.
Yes,
this is not
please.
for you.
It's not for you. Close your eyes. Turn off the screen.
Okay. So the first one, I'm looking at my iPad here. So I started all of these in June and July, and I finished them all in August. Like literally in the past month, I finished all of these. So the first pair I finished was this pair. This is Stitching with Yarn, I believe in the colorway Old Glory. And this is a broken rib pattern. I thought I had memorized the sock witchery pattern Tuesday night, and I ended up freestyling my own thing. So I'll bring it closer so you can see the texture.
Looks good.
So this is for a bridesmaid who is a big Army fan.
Hope you wrote it down.
What?
You're winging it.
Oh, yeah. No. Oh, more on that later, actually. How I calculate my socks.
No, well, I meant the stitch pattern.
Yes.
So that it could be wrote up.
Yeah, it's pretty simple. It was pretty easy, and it's got a good stretch because I've never knit socks for her before. So I figured if it was too small, it would stretch to her, and if it was too big, it would suck in and take her foot. Second pair is for my maid of honor.
I like it.
This is Woolens and Nosh sushi roll, and then I used what's it called? It was the Patton's Croy. That one. I used Patent Croy black for the heels, toes, and cuffs.
It feels like
and it's just a plain vanilla sock with an afterthought heel because I was on an afterthought heel kick. Ooh, you cannot see that here.
No.
But still, it's a little bit shorter for her. I had knit her socks before, so I knew what I was going to do for her. She and I love to get sushi together. That is our thing, and we also have a crab rangoon addiction, so this was fitting for her.
I could see the crab rangoon addiction.
Yes, yes. I am a crab rangoon connoisseur, honestly. I could tell you every restaurant in the vicinity of like an hour radius
then you'll
around
have
here.
to tell me who's got good crab rangoon because I love that stuff.
So these socks were started on August 2nd and they were finished on August 11th.
Wow. Again, 7-day knitter.
Yeah, I had a wedding deadline. It was,
But you do that
I'm-
when you're not on a deadline.
This is
Admit
true.
it.
This is true. And then we have, I did my first pair of jelly rolls, and this is in Wool Market Fibers yarn.
Yes, it is.
This color's Flashback.
Do you want me to pull it?
Yes, please do. Because it's literally right there. So we have Flashback, and then we have Fuchsia. And I just did a short jelly roll with an afterthought heel. And luckily she wears the same size shoe as me. So I just knit my sock pattern for her.
Ta-da! There they are.
Yeah, so this, on the camera, this shows up more like muted and stuff, but it really is not when you put it in person.
No.
This is very much so true to color.
Not muted.
Yeah, and so it's perfect. And
Wear your
actually,
sunglasses when you knit this, I'm telling you.
and if you love this yarn, I do believe the green and the purple and the orange are all available back there too.
Hold on.
So, if you're interested, because this is awesome, and I'm gonna make myself a pair out of this. You have Flashback. This is Fuchsia.
And here's all the contrasting, coordinating colors.
Pop and Purple. And these are all the colors in the main skein.
Yes.
This is Radioactive.
And here's the orange.
Just called orange.
Just orange. Perfect. You could color combo just about anything with these.
Yeah.
That looks so good, no matter what you do with them.
And this to me is very subtle unicorny kind of vibes because there's little blue specks and little light pinks in there. So if you have a girl in your life who loves unicorns, this is the way to go.
Yes, perfect.
So, jelly rolls, Flashback, and Fuchsia.
Now, how did you like your first jelly rolls? Because that's your first.
I enjoyed it. Okay, I'm gonna say this here because I don't think she watches this, so she won't know. I made a slight goof. So I ended up, I have to go down to a size 0 normally for 75-25 yarn, and then for 80-20 I go down to a 00. So I started this off on a 0 to get that roll. When I made the second one, I accidentally started off on a 00, so the roll's not as big on the second one.
Oh, okay.
But you really can't tell.
No.
I've been trying to block it where it'll block in.
Rolling.
Yeah. I like it. I feel like for me, because I like to wear Converse, I'm gonna have to make sure to make mine tall enough.
Yeah.
So when it rolls, it doesn't tuck into my shoe and slide down. But I would so wear this to work because my students know I wear crazy socks and they
They
love
tell
it.
me how that goes.
Yes.
When you do.
I'm gonna definitely make a pair for my kids
I
or
love-
for me to wear.
I like to hear their reaction.
Yes, my students literally. So I'm a music teacher, and my students literally sometimes are like, "Hey, can we see your socks?" I'm like, "Well, if you're really, really good and we get everything done, then yes." Like, I never thought my knitting would be a behavior motivator, but so many kids stop me in the hallway, and I'm wearing something like, "Did you make that?" I'm like, yeah, I did.
Or what were you wearing today?
Yeah, or even like staff members have walked by and have been like, "This," and I'm like, "You're feeling the yarn on my sweater. I know what you're doing."
Stop petting me.
No, it's fine. I'm glad they're excited about it. Okay, and then, okay, this is not for my size, so, and I have not woven in the ends on this. This is a sock head slouch in Patton's Croy in a solid black. This is for my fiance. It is massive because he has a bigger head than me, and he wanted it extremely slouchy. So this thing is literally
Just extremely slouchy.
yeah. I mean, it is. Let's see.
You can almost.
You can see it's
Oh,
super.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's almost like
And-
the size of a Shetland tep.
Yeah,
I
it really
love
is.
it.
And his head is actually like 2 sizes bigger than mine. So on him, it'll
25.
yeah. So on him, it'll slouch just right. So that was started on October 9th. Not October. It was started
Ooh,
on
weird.
August 9th and finished on August 28th. Okay.
I was waiting for you to say a week later.
No, because I finished. There's one more pair of socks I did finish in that interim week.
Mhm.
And I already gifted those, so I don't have those to share. You don't have any FOs here with you, do you?
I have. What?
You want to show your one, and then I'll show my last one?
That's pretty sad.
Well, okay, but I didn't.
you have
I
to
didn't give her the
understand-
prep.
Well, that's true. And that's okay. I worked on this and actually did the project, but I had to write the pattern for it because literally it turns out that everybody wanted it.
That's a good problem.
Right? But I hate writing. I hate pattern writing. If you have ever designed anything, the creativity is actually in the yarn picking or just the knitting of it. Well, then you got to get down to business and write that puppy. So I finally did it because the customer was emailing twice a week. Where's the pattern? I finally got the yarn because we had to dye it for her.
Right, yeah.
Because we ran out of yarn. We literally just sold out of it when the photo of the hat had come out.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Then everybody bought the yarn. Well, then we had to re-dye. And then everybody wanted the pattern, so here I am.
That's a great problem.
Let me go get it.
Here, do you want me to show this while you're...
Yeah, go ahead. Absolutely.
So I will show my last FO, and this one has been off the needles for a while, but it deserves a place in the sweater episode. So this was cast on March 16th and finished on June 26th. The fun fatty raglan! And yes, I have not woven in the ends because good grief, there's a lot. It looks like a Willy Wonka store threw up on it, and I love it so much. So this is the fun fatty raglan by Andrea Gaughan. I struggled a bit with this pattern, to be honest, and you can kind of see here. I haven't blocked it yet. I'm gonna block it after. I wanted to wait till I showed it, but I had a little bit of problem because I had trouble with the clarity of this pattern. All the language was there, but I think the formatting to me is what really I struggled with, is that it was all close together, and I obviously had a little trouble. So if it had been broken up a little bit, I think it would have been a little more clear to me. After this point, it was pretty clear and we were fine the rest of the way. I did freestyle on the sleeves, but I did like the way she had you decrease the sleeves. Made this really cool detail.
Oh, yeah.
And that was really awesome.
Yes.
And if you cannot see that, oop, if I don't drop it.
Here, I'll hold it.
There we go. You can see that really cool decrease down this middle. So I mean, I like the pattern. Read it like 5 times before you knit it and break it down. That is my only criticism of this pattern, because the sweater itself turned out great. The fit is fantastic, but make sure you don't miss anything in the fine print, because it is there. So this is Cascade Heritage? Nope. What is it? Broco Vintage. Broco Vintage in DK with Wool Market Fibers DK minis. And they don't have names, but they do have like a little DK mini bar. So this was cast on March 16th and finished on June 26th. Okay.
Yeah, we do have a whole end cap full of those colors, just saying.
Yes, and you do not have to do rainbow unicorn colors. You can do a
Mm-hmm.
whole different variety, but
you could use 2 colors. You could actually use one solid and possibly a variegated for all of the colors, which I think would look nice as well. But like she said, please pay attention to the writing of the pattern, where the increases for the raglans are. It's how it's written that is slightly confusing.
Yeah.
We do have couple of other people who are currently in the increasing section, and she's kind of struggling a little, but
it happens. Right, and it's tricky because you're doing color work and a raglan
increasing at the same time.
Right.
So
I feel like if
this was
a circular yoke, it would be easier.
Yes.
All right, we're gonna pause for 1 second. All right, and we're back. Yes. So Michelle has her new pattern to show us.
Yes, this is Hope and Strength. It was based on the yarn that was dyed for the month of October for breast cancer awareness month. And I decided to write a pattern to show off the yarn, simple cable, and that's kind of blown up in the knitting community recently. Everybody wants the pattern. It is free on my blog, which we will have linked in your thing over there.
My show notes below. You'll have it linked.
This is it. That's the one.
Here, let's get it closer
And
so you can see
then,
the cable.
go ahead.
Look at that. Isn't that beautiful? I think this would be a great pattern if you were learning how to knit cables.
Very easy.
It would be, you would have the one cable to manage. If you heard that, my bag just fell off the table. But the yarn is beautiful. It all just shines here. Gorgeous.
Yeah, I wanted something just to show off the yarn, the colors, because it is kind of a busy look to it. So, you know, less is more kind of
Yes.
thing.
For sure.
Then we have a revised, I'll let you show this off because you were the product knitter for this one. This was revised from a pattern that I had designed and knit and put out, probably about 5 years ago. And it is re-released. It is going to be free on my blog as well.
I will link it below as
Yes.
well.
And right now, if you want paper copies, I do have paper copies of the pattern. So just give a call to the shop.
These are the velvet socks.
Very simple, 2-color, broken rib. You can use tonals. You can use a solid with a variegated if you wanted. You could use a solid with possibly a self-striping, which I did originally. So that's why I needed to revise it, because of the colors of the yarn that I had used were discontinued. So I can't get it any longer. So we went on and just revised the look of the sock. Nothing to do with the pattern itself. It's all written correctly. So
Yep.
no problems. It's just revised looks.
This is knit up in Wool Market Fibers. This brown is pecan, and the green is, I believe, forest green.
I think so, yes.
And I bought these 2 colors maybe 2 years ago. I bought it a long time ago. I was really inspired just by the mix of foresty nature colors. So then we needed a sample of this sock.
Absolutely.
And it was very fun to knit. I mean, I knit fast, but, and I did a short row heel here. I don't normally do these too often, but the pattern had a short row heel, so. But the pattern went really fast because you have these plain stockinette areas and then the texture. And so the texture was engaging, and I had something to help me stay focused, I guess. And then something easy, and then something. So it's like a self-striping yarn where it goes really fast. And so if you had self-striping and this,
I think it would look really nice. The broken rib section, it's not so complicated that, you know, you have to go to a quiet room.
right.
Which is, you know, you don't have to do that. That's really nice. So it worked out really well.
Yeah, I mean, I pretty quickly had it memorized, and I was able just to take it and work on it as I wanted.
And if you want to change out, if you are an experienced sock knitter and you want to change out the heel, you are more than welcome to do that. The pattern isn't to where you cannot modify a heel and put some other heel in. The short row, if you wanted to use a wrapper and turn, you can. If you wanted to use a German short row, you can. Shadow wrap. If you want to use an afterthought or just a regular heel flap and gusset, you can do that as well. So, you know, the heels are easy. The heels are fun.
So, and if you have questions about how, because I mentioned earlier with my socks, I do calculate by length of foot, but not when I'm knitting it. I actually calculate by rounds so that my socks end up more even to me, that they're the same amount of rounds. So if you are interested in that information, I've been thinking about trying to put together a pattern or like video class about how I calculate socks and get socks that fit. So if that interests you, comment below. Let us know.
Okay. One last thing for me before we jump into the big O. We're going to do sweaters in September.
Yes.
This is another sock design. I have another one, but I forgot to bring it. This is going to be mainly for, This is mainly going to be for the men in your life. It is written for a 72 stitch specific. It is not written for ladies because frankly, we have patterns coming out our nose for ladies. Not as many for men. So I wanted to do something just for the guys out there. Boyfriends, husbands, dads, brothers.
This is eye partridge heel flap.
It is.
Yes,
I love those. Basic for men. It comes with a 3 different stitch pattern. Looks like a checkerboard. I will have that written up as soon as possible. Yes, I've got to finish the foot.
Do you have a name for
I
this
may give it
pattern?
to Hannah so she can finish it in a week.
I got a wedding.
Well, after the wedding.
After. Do you have a
When you
name
come
for your
back.
pattern?
No. So if anybody
Oh.
has any pattern title suggestions, let us know in the comments below. I will definitely take those into serious consideration. Trust me, because I am running out of ideas. All right.
All
Let's
right.
jump into sweaters.
We have an announcement. So we're going to do a sweater knit along. I have dubbed this on the channel, I'm going to call it It's Fall Y'all.
Right. I love
But
that.
it's Fall Y'all knit along. So this includes, this knit along will be from the beginning of September all the way until November 30th. I have a Ravelry group, which will be linked below. We're going to have an Instagram hashtag, which I'll put here because I need to double check and make sure hashtags are available. So we'll have the Instagram hashtag, we'll have the Ravelry group, and the Ravelry group will have a chatter thread, and it will also have an FO thread. So what I'm gonna do is, at the end of our 3 months, I will draw 3 winners for a sweater pattern of their choice of up to 10 US dollars.
Nice. Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah, because have you noticed the digital patterns are going up?
yeah,
Uh-huh.
but most sweaters seem to be able to be, you can get them
Yes.
for 10 US dollars. So I
Yes.
feel like everybody could get
10 and under. 10 and under.
Yeah, I
Yes.
feel like most sweaters, unless it's like a crazy
I've got a few
intense-
designer ideas. I mean, that I follow a lot. So,
So-
incentive for me to stop goofing off.
Yes. So I'm gonna try and draw one from the Instagram hashtag, one from the Ravelry chatter thread, and one from the Ravelry FO. Because if you are not as crazy fast knitter, or you're like getting married like me, that maybe you can't finish it in time,
Yeah.
and that's okay.
Yeah.
Whips are allowed too. So if you have a sweater whip,
Oh,
the only
yeah. Mhm.
stipulation, this cannot be like a little baby like Advent
No baby
sweater.
sweaters.
Well, I don't mind if it's like a child garment, but like, you know what I mean, like the little bunting
Yeah.
sweaters, like that doesn't count as a sweater.
Yeah.
But if you
no
have
Christmas
a
ornaments.
cardigan, a sweater, or a vest, like some kind of
A
something you
pullover.
pull over on your torso that is not a shawl, it is a garment that you wear. It needs to be a garment that can be worn by a person.
Yes.
If that person is newborn size, I get it, go for it.
Okay.
We just want to knit sweaters. Just
Are
knit
we,
all the
are
sweaters.
we ready?
Yes. Okay.
Okay.
So we're going to talk about the sweaters we have and then the sweaters we want to start.
So here's my whips. Because I probably have less than Hannah, so I can.
I have one
Maybe.
sweater whip. I have one sweater whip right now because I finished my other big one.
I've got 3. Sorry. I have a thing with startitis, as everybody knows. I have ADHD, and all pretty things just make me want to start new things. So let's see. First up, the pullover. This pullover is in the works, if I can get it undone. This is Ready for Fall by Isabel Kramer. It is a top-down pullover. I love her. I love her designs. She's got really beautiful designs. Her patterns are very easy to understand, very easy to get through. And I'm almost to where I would need to, as you can tell, it's all plain up front, until you get towards the bottom of the torso where the color work is. And at the time I started this, I just needed some mindless knitting. This is it until we get to the bottom. I had picked out a variegated color to go with this, tonal gray, which was hand dyed by, not me, but the other half of me.
Mr. Will Market Fibers.
Yes, Mr. Will Market Fibers. So, the short rows on the back, she is fabulous when she writes how to do the short rows for the back, and I love her stuff. So that's whip number 1. Then, I decided Michelle needs a vest. So I have been wanting to do a vest or a waistcoat, whichever you prefer, for quite a while. And I fell upon Petite Knits.
Yes.
I have to say, I love her stuff.
Her patterns are, I only have 1 or 2 of her patterns, but they're just so well written.
Yes.
And clear.
Oh, yes.
But also just it's not complicated, but
it looks
well
complicated. Yes,
Yes,
absolutely. So with that thought in mind, this is slip over. Now, it is a top down. I realize you're looking at one piece, but it is a top down. Trust me. It starts with the back. And then once you've got the back done, you will pick up here for the shoulder. One on either side and continue from there.
All right, and we're back.
Yes.
Michelle was talking about her slip over. It is the Lulu slip
Yes.
over by Petite Knits.
That's it. Absolutely.
Do you want to show it one more time? And I had it pulled up. This is it. The Lulu slip over by
Don't you
Petite
just
Knits.
love that?
Show your yarn.
Yes. So here it is in the beige, and if I like it well enough, I've been doing this in the evenings, just for a half an hour, and I've started 3 days ago. So
Wow.
I know, half an hour to an hour each night for a little while. It's because I've found that I've got carpal tunnel, and the pain is just killing me. So I'm trying not to knit a lot while I have to do it here at work, because what else can I do? I'm trying to not do it so much at night.
Yeah. And if you just do a little bit each day, I mean, it'll be done by November.
Pull out my book and start reading. All right, I have one more, I swear. After that, my sweater pile is...
Okay, do you want me to do one then? Because I have a lot
You
of sweater
do one.
ones.
You
Okay.
do one.
So I have a current whip. And this was actually, if you watched my first 2 episodes on my whip go board that I, have abandoned because
I did too.
that was
Sorry.
too much. We're going to reevaluate for next year what the plan is. I get it for cross stitch of saying we're going to do this many stitches. I should have just said this much time per project instead of let me knit all of these giant sweaters and shawls. So
Yeah, that was ambitious.
yes, it was a little too ambitious. So oops, I pulled up the wrong pattern. All right, so this was originally listed as the muscadine on my whip go board. I haven't had coffee yet today. That's not good. So this is a
It's Saturday,
bag
it's raining.
by Sassy Sacks by Yachty on Etsy. I love this. I love moose
is a
and
cute
buffalo
one.
plaid. This is in DK yarn by Polka Dot Creek in the avocado colorway.
That's pretty.
This is just a plain skein of it.
Nice.
So this is a sweater quantity you would have seen on episode 1 or 2. And this sweater is the Stick Season sweater by the Crayabea.
Oh, that is cute.
Let me see.
I like that.
Get it zoomed in where you can
stars.
see
Don't
it.
show me another one. I might want to cast on again.
As soon as I saw this sweater, I was obsessed. I know it's been out for a while and I'm kind of late to the boat, but
Better late than never. It's never
Yes.
too late.
And this one I believe is a saddle shoulder, and I've never done a saddle shoulder before, so I thought it would be really good for me to learn how to do one. And the cool part about this too, I've never done a sweater where you do a back panel and then the front. And pick
Oh
up for the
yes,
front.
that was my very first sweater, and that was by Carol Feller. Though I don't want to screw up the name of it. Capel Dub,
Oh. Carol Feller.
but it's Carol Feller. Yes,
So
it's a top down.
this is the back right now. What I have. So this is the back
Nice.
panel.
That's pretty.
So, and this really, it's catching on my ring, but if you look, this detail here is what got me on this sweater. This is where you'll pick up to add the front panel, but you see it just creates that little,
Yeah, it's
border.
similar to the Lulu slipover from Petite Knits.
yeah, I love it. And I thought the texture, when you look at the sweater, I guess I've only been knitting, it'll be 4 years in October I've been knitting. So I'm not good at reading texture. So when I saw this, I was a little curious about the texture pattern. I don't want to give it away because it is in the paid for pattern, but it's not difficult.
No,
It was very easy to pick up for me, and it's very memorizable. So I just have a knitting counter to remember what repeat I'm on. And so I have to do 3.5 inches from this little marker, which is what I'm doing. And then from there, I'll put all these stitches on a holder.
Yeah.
And then you'll pick up on the 2 sides and start working the front panels till they join in the front, and then we'll be in the round. So my
Yep.
goal is to get this as soon as possible to like the round and round state. So then going on a trip in a little bit, when I go on my trip,
then you can take it with you and just do the body after the sleeve.
Because yes, the person I'm going with always wants to drive, which is fine because it means I have a built-in
free knit time.
So yes, the goal is to have this round and round, so then while I'm on vacation,
nice,
I can round and round.
What's next?
That's the stick season sweater. Okay, my next one, that's my only sweater whip. I have a bunch of potential cast-ons. You have one of mine, my yarn.
I do.
Do you want to do that now?
Uh-oh.
Okay,
phone.
We'll be back. All right, well, that was a scam call. We're back. Okay.
Even for a Saturday, we still get them.
I have had my eye on this sweater as soon as it came out, and I'm like a year late to the boat, or it's late to the party. I don't know why I'm saying it wrong. A year late to the party on this sweater. But they custom dyed my colors for me to be able to make this sweater.
Yes.
And I have not seen them in person yet. This is my first time seeing them in
person.
These
are custom dyed by Mr. Wool Market Fibers. In the yarn that she requested, which is a Surrey alpaca
DK weight.
This is the most scrumptious thing
I'm
I have
so excited
ever
about
felt.
this. Like a kid at Christmas.
It is so soft. I love it. I love this. All right.
Okay, here's the color palette.
So here's the color palette.
Oh, it's so oh.
Dildo.
I'm never taking this
Here's
off.
the pink that she wanted.
Oh my goodness.
Now, I'm here to tell you, this is not the easiest fiber to dye. This pink came out so light. We had to dye it 3 times for the color to get it this color, which is just a little bit darker than how it came out the first time. But this is what she wanted. Yeah. She needed enough contrast for this and this.
Here, I'm gonna hold one of each so we get the full.
Yes, here comes the platinum.
I'm like a kid at Christmas.
This was dyed 4 times.
Whew.
Because it just kept coming out. And I don't know, it's the particular fiber content that's in it that just does not play well with dyes.
Yeah, and Surrey is not great at soaking up dye.
But it is so scrumptious.
Oh, look at this.
I know. All right.
Okay. Do you want to hold this and I'll show the pattern?
Okay. I'll hold the yarn. You show off the pattern because I haven't seen it, so I don't know. I don't know where these guys would go. Oh,
the Instant Crush by Joji Locatelli.
There we go.
Oh, I'm so excited.
Yes.
So I don't want to.
It's fabulous.
I don't want to show. Let me see. Because I don't want to show any of the actual pattern. If my iPad, there we go. My iPad did not want to cooperate this morning.
So she just stares at me.
We have an audience here at Wool Market Fibers.
The peanut gallery. So, I'm
so excited.
Happy?
This is, as soon as we finish this podcast, this is getting wound up and cast on. That's what's happening today. Do I have another sweater on the needles? Yes, I do. But am I going to knit this one immediately?
Do we have any business doing this?
Yes, we
do.
Yes, we do. Yes, we do.
We're going to do it anyway.
So, this pattern, I will say, without giving too much away, it's charted color work the entire sweater. So if you've never knit color work, I don't know if this is where I would start with. This is only my second, this sweater is my second color work project. No. Yeah, it was my second color work project. I started with Boylan Knitworks, Caitlin Hunter's halibut cowl, because if you're in a cowl, if it's not perfect, it will be fine. And I practiced holding 1 yarn in each hand to do the 2 color, and that is exactly what Joji Locatelli recommends in the sweater pattern. So then when I got to the Alpine Bloom, I knew what I was doing, and I've done a pair of colorwork socks now, so I've done something that had to be exact. So now on this, I am typically a loose knitter, but I always have to size up when I colorwork.
Yeah, well, you always have to size up when you're doing color work because there is no stretch in color work, period. No blocking in the world's going to fix it if it puckers. Yes. So you want your floats to be loose enough that when you do try to stretch the fabric, that it's not, you can't see the backside where the floats are. So you really got to be careful with that. For first time stranded knitters, I truly think that you need a piece that doesn't have increasing or increasing so that you can understand how to do the color work.
Yes.
Always traditional Fair Isle knitting. There's only 2 colors per row or round. So you don't ever have to worry about 3 or 4 colors. That doesn't happen in traditional Fair Isle knitting.
Yeah. Now this sweater does only use 2 colors at once.
Yes.
I don't think there's any point where you have to do 3.
Right. I've done it, but you know, I've already had been doing color work, and my first venture into Fair Isle knitting was a Christmas stocking on double pointed needles, because I like to learn things old school apparently.
That is not me. Well, I haven't used DPNs before.
You should try it at least one time.
Yeah.
Just so that you can say you did it, you know what it feels like, you know what it's like to knit with double pointed needles in the round.
Yes.
That's how I learned to knit socks, although I've graduated since then, so I can do all 3 ways.
I'm thinking eventually whenever the next sock phase comes around, we'll do DPNs.
But I have learned over the course of Fair Isle knitting, because I have to be proficient in English knitting, I can knit with each color in the round and not have to worry about the yarns twisting and getting all goofy.
Yes. So, yes, with this sweater, I'm obsessed.
Gorgeous.
The pattern actually calls for 2 strands of lace weight held together to make a DK weight gauge. This just kind of worked out. I only have to do 1 strand of DK weight fluff. But it is definitely built for a fluffy yarn.
And I think, is fluffy.
Right. And this pattern, it's written on a pretty, it's a loose gauge. Calls for a US 6 for DK, which is decent, but with it being a lace weight too, I think as you block it, it'll kind of fluff in and all mesh and look good and pretty. I've seen some people knit this in just plain DK weight yarn on Ravelry. If you look at the projects on it, it does look good. But there's something about the fluff factor of this sweater that's just like,
you could also even take, but you could also even take a mohair lace and pair it with a DK twisted plied yarn to get that fluff. I've done it with fingering weight and have the product come out really gorgeous. Yeah,
I think some people have done like a sock weight and a mohair.
Yeah,
the pattern does call for mohair. Mohair and I just don't get along, so unfortunately. My grandmother was a very prolific knitter who loved mohair, and I have inherited a ton of her mohair. And I can knit with it, but I cannot put it on my body.
Aww.
It just like it turned red. This is sweater cast on number 2.
Oh, now,
look at this. This will be the main color, this dark gray, and then these will be the contrast colors in there.
So for those interested in this yarn, not the colors, or even the colors, in the yarn in general, give us a call. I'm not sure if we're going to be carrying this all the time. I will have to get with Mr. Wool Market Fibers and ask him.
Your husband didn't know he was getting a new name today, did he?
Nope. But it fits.
So, yes.
Okay. My last sweater whip. I'm trying not to start anything new because of Hannah over here. She has got some fabulous sweater ideas that I just love. All right, this is my last whip. For now. Thanks. All right, Stephen West, here we go. This is Garter Marlar cardigan. I love cardigans. This is with all of, well, I shouldn't say all, because I have a couple of 18-gallon tote boxes slap full of leftover sock yarn. Here it is in the beginning stages. I've already am past the short row section for the top of the back, and it is a rounded yoke increase instead of a true, raglan at the shoulders. It's actually fun, despite the fact that it's all garter stitch. I love that I am playing with the colors. Right now I'm in the middle. I've just finished these here, which has got navy and yellow and white because of one yarn. I paired it with the solid, then I pulled a navy speckle. So I'll drop this, continue with this, and then another color to go with this. And it just continues all the way down the sweater. So I am utilizing my stash leftovers. I did knit through a couple of colors in this, so yay, but not really because I still have 16 bazillion more leftover yarn balls. So this is one of the several ways of me using my leftover stash of fingering weight yarn. So garter stitch, this is the Garter Marler by Stephen West.
Let me pull that up really quick.
And yeah, she'll have it linked. All right, Hannah.
Wait, I was going to show the cardigan really quick.
Yes, please.
Does he have good notes on there about how to marl yarns? Like his recommendations?
Not in the pattern. You have to
This is
purchase his workshop if you want to know how to, color scheme, color,
Yeah.
coordinate,
I mean, I
stuff
could
like that.
definitely see that
not-
being a whole class.
Well, if you had absolutely no idea about color,
My iPad is not responding today.
uh-oh.
That is not good.
Oh dear.
That's for all my knitting patterns. Like, this is not good. Continue, I'm sorry.
It's okay. If you didn't have absolutely any ideas about color,
Yeah.
what to put with what, it really doesn't necessitate a humongous, a big workshop. Maybe half a workshop, but
he does so much color play. I think probably he does have a lot to say on the subject.
Yes.
I will say, I did purchase one of Stephen West's workshops. I purchased his shawl workshop about shawl construction. Just that workshop alone taught me so much about knitting. And it wasn't anything necessarily earth-shattering, but just the way he just broke it down. He's a really great teacher.
Yeah, I like his shapes.
Right, and he broke down, this is how you make funky, weird shapes. This is what you do.
That I could do that workshop.
Yeah.
I could do that workshop.
I really, and it's like once you get it, it's a lifetime thing.
Well, and
So,
if you wanted to design your own shawls or anything else, that would be a good one to do.
Yeah.
Because you needed to know about shapes, how it works, where to increase, where to decrease, that kind of
Yes.
thing. So yeah,
Yes.
that would be one I would take. Mm-hmm.
Yep, I'm definitely probably going to go back and refresh it once I get some whips off the needles, even though I'm casting more
After
things.
November 30th or 30th.
30th, because then we have Christmas.
Oh yes, then there's Christmas.
Yes.
Ooh, Lord. I started Christmas in January.
Yeah, but then it means we'll have all these wonderful sweaters to wear throughout the Christmas
Let's
season.
hope I can get one done. At least one.
Yes.
I'm hoping to get at least one.
So, those are my whips. Like those are the two I'm committed to doing. Now we're going on to Hannah's dream knitting that she will probably cast on and not finish in time, but it's probably going to happen.
That's always been my problem.
So,
Yes. All right, pull it out.
Okay, so there's just been some pattern drops lately that just, and I will say this, all of this yarn I got from my stash. All of these patterns I'm about to show you, because I don't think my stash is as extensive as Michelle's stash.
Oh Lord.
But I have a spreadsheet for my stash, and I think I could knit off of it for like 5 years and not need to buy yarn.
I'll let you borrow some of mine. I've got at least 25 years worth of yarn stash.
Yeah, but we love all of our yarn babies.
We do. We do.
Okay, so this dropped literally yesterday. And I saw it and I was like, this has to happen. So I already picked out the needles. When we had to take a break for a second,
did.
I went and grabbed the needles for this sweater. I'm like, hey, I'm probably getting this today. This is Mabel's sweater by Joji Locatelli again. But look at that waffle. And she clarified that on this, there is no brioche. I mean, I don't mind brioche, but if you are afraid of brioche or you don't like brioche, you could definitely do this. But the texture on this.
If you're like me and cannot fix the mistakes in brioche.
Yeah, I can't fix the mistakes
we
in brioche.
would have to skip it.
My iPad is just determined to not listen to me today. It doesn't like me.
You want to borrow mine?
There we go. I think it just needs a reset and an update probably. Look at those sleeves. It's just gorgeous. She makes really good long, like oversized sleeves. Not like bulky, but extra long sleeves, which I like. I don't like when, I mean, I don't always go all the way down, but I like when designers don't always just cut it off here.
Yeah.
Every time that they give you the option, so when they give you the yardage, you know how much you need.
I don't like fitted.
I like
I like oversized sleeves because I like to wear them over my clothes.
Yeah.
So I don't want my arms feeling like they're being squished.
And I typically wear my sweater as like my top. Also clarifying for the knit along, if you just do like a tee like this also does count to me as a sweater because it's a
garment. Yeah,
garment.
it's still a pullover.
So for Mabel's sweater, I'm thinking this color. This is Lobster Bisque by Polka Dot Creek in their classic sock base.
You know, that reminds me of the color that you did the first sweater with the black in it.
Yes, I did the coloring book tee in the colorway beignets here at Wool Market Fibers too. So I have a thing for light pink, obviously.
It looks like salmon.
Yeah, yeah. This really comes across as like a nice salmon-y kind of color.
It's really pretty. It's a tonal. I like it.
And they do like a sweater sale, and I picked it up. So I had a sweater's quantity I was sitting on. This was supposed to be some other pattern that I had on my Whipco board. So this will also be a Whipco board removal when I use this yarn. Okay. Do you have any? It's just me now?
No.
Okay.
That's it.
So
I think I'm out. I am out. I can't do much more. I'm still working on projects that I've started in 2017. Sad to say.
oh, it's
Good
fine.
thing there's not. Good thing there isn't a. What do they call that? Debtor's prison?
Yes. Okay. My next sweater that I'm thinking about casting on, we were talking about doing this sweater together.
Yes.
Is the ranunculus.
This is really pretty.
The ranunculus, I mean, it's like the
And
most
again,
knitted pattern on
it's
Ravelry.
like bazillions of people have already done it, but
Yes. And
what's a few more dozen?
Right. And I have a sweater's quantity of Pearl Soho Linen Quill in the colorway Fresh Pickle.
That is a pretty color.
And I feel like the drape on this is going to be stunning. And my goal is, because it is a fingering weight, if I did the ranunculus, I would put it like over a dress, like a black dress or something. So this would just be something to kind of like throw over. So you're still going to see the dress underneath it a little bit, but the point is this is just kind of like a nice layering piece, and I look a little more put together.
Yes. I
Hopefully.
haven't decided on the color nor the weight. I always feel like if I'm going to knit a sweater in fingering weight, I'll never get it done because it just takes 100 years and then some. I'm looking at sport or DK. And I've got in my stash literally 8 to 10 sweaters worth of yarn. Quantity size.
So you have an
In
excuse.
worsted, I have 6 sweaters worth of yarn. So
You have an excuse to cast on 6 sweaters is what you have.
yeah, but I have no business doing it. I don't think I'll ever get it done. But that green reminds me of a cardigan that I did called Dustland by Isabel Kramer. I'm telling you, I love her stuff. So I've done 2 of those because I liked it enough. Did 2 of those cardigans. They were done in sport weight.
Nice. I have not delved into sport weight too much. I do fingering or DK. That's pretty much it.
Yeah.
And mainly fingering. I've knit 2 fingering weight sweaters.
Sport is in between, and it'll go a little faster than fingering.
Yeah. We'll
But-
see. I have time. I'm going to knit all the sweaters eventually anyway.
You're a lot younger
Okay.
than me. You got time.
So the last sweater possibility, and I need your help in the comments, and Michelle's help, and Miss Cher's help, who's back in.
In the peanut gallery.
Okay, Caitlin Hunter just dropped 2 patterns. I love Caitlin Hunter patterns. I was thinking about using this for it as well, so I might change my mind and use this Fresh Pickle.
Well,
But
you are a female. You're entitled.
Yes. So I have 2 more. Like I was gonna make a half and half triangles wrap with these 2 together, But I figured out I am not a shawl knitter. I start them and I never finish them. So I could make a sweater each. Instead of making a giant wrap, I could make a sweater out of the sweet potato colorway and a sweater out of the vintage Celadon colorway. And this is the pattern. It is called Stromboli. And again, I feel like this could be a good layering piece. Oops, if it will load, there is Stromboli.
That is really pretty.
Yes.
I think the cerulean.
Yeah, I'm thinking the cerulean, because I do wear a lot of black and gray, so I feel like if I pulled the orange with it, it would look Halloween all year long, and then I wouldn't wear it very often.
No, this is too... This looks better. It looks better against you to begin with, so that one. All right, that's it. We're done.
If you have your opinion in the comments, though, please post below. So those
You may have seen something I didn't.
Yeah, and it looks, I mean, these are both pretty true to color.
They are.
On camera.
Yeah.
So this is sweet potato and this is vintage Celadon.
It still looks like a pumpkin.
I know. I was obsessed with this color as soon as I saw. I'm going to make probably something like a coloring book tea or something out of it.
That would be nice.
Yeah. And then if I had like this is the pop of color at the cuff, the leftovers of the Stromboli, if I have some,
I might
do that. And then
see, that would be my other sweater.
So
the t-shirts.
Those are our sweater plans. So down below, we have a Ravelry group. Please join the Ravelry group. There'll be a chatter thread and a FO thread. The FO thread I'm not going to open up until like the 15th of September because if you finished it already, I don't think that counts.
You must have had it on a sweater machine.
Yes. So please hand knit sweaters. You can also crochet, but hand knit or crochet.
I would love to see a crocheted sweater.
Yes.
I have cues for those. I just haven't done it yet. Because every time I pick something, somebody doesn't like it. And then it's like, oh, well, okay, never mind.
Yeah, and I love crochet. I knit more than I crochet.
I want a granny square sweater.
Oh, the Jethro by Tana Slavely?
Yes.
Okay, pause.
We got to do that.
We have to talk about this. My brother, I showed my brother this because my brother, he tries to not be interested in my knitting, but he really is, and I appreciate his interest.
And that's where I would get the variegated yarn because I hate tail waving. So,
look at this.
Two combs. I want
crocheted and knitted, and this is blowing up all over Ravelry too.
I want that.
But
crocheted squares, the cuff, all the ribbing is knitted.
Yes.
Hey, there we go.
And that would be a good scrap buster.
I would do that. I would cast on for that.
Yes. So, please join the Ravelry group. Please comment below. You can follow me on Instagram at Hannah's Knit Cottage. You have an Instagram too, don't you?
We'll Market Fibers.
And We'll Market Fibers is also on Facebook.
Yes, we are.
And they have a website as well. So if you're interested in any of the things mentioned here today, please reach out.
Except the Surrey until I figure it out.
Yes, except Surrey. But if you are interested, maybe let them know. That would help them know if there's interest. But yeah, if you've watched this far, thank you for watching despite all of our interruptions.
Good to meet everybody. Yeah, sorry for the interruptions. I still have a business to conduct.
Yep, we kind of broke in here on a Saturday to record, so. I've
been having fun. Can we do this again?
Yes.
All right.
That's what I was thinking.
There
we should do this again. Maybe we'll convince her to join us next time.
Yes.
Anyway, thank you for watching, and please leave your comments down below. We'll see you soon.
Bye.
Sooner than 6 months.
Yes, please.
All right. Bye, everybody.
Bye.